Time for another edition of Got Team. We're focusing on the second and third place teams in the NL Central, the Milwaukee Brewers, the Chicago Cubs. All right, Kev, let's start on the north side of Chicago. Who is the most important Cubs player this season, or maybe their manager?
Well, no, let me tell you, it's Chris Bryant. I'm going to tell you why. He's leading off up there on top of this lineup, and they haven't had a great leadoff hitter since Dexter Fowler left for St. Louis. So since then, you've had Schwarber, you've had Bryant, you've had Rizzo, you've had Javi, you've had everybody. I think Wilson Contreras has even led up there. So this is a situation where David Ross said, nah, you go up there, you beat Chris Bryant, you go do your thing. He should be healthy. All these injuries that he's kind of gone through, he's a nice player. Go out and do what you do. And I think this is a big year for Chris Bryant. Very sexy man.
Good call on your part, not the right call, though. I'm going to go to Chris Bryant's left just a few feet, and that's Javier Baez, who has turned into one of the best shortstops in all of baseball. You know, he's a guy that brings so much energy, and in a year where there aren't going to be fans in the stands, the Cubs are going to need that. They're going to need this spark. Finished runner-up to Christian Yelich in the MVP in 2018. Last year, 27 defensive runs saved. That was the best by any infielder in the National League. He can pick it. He can run the bases. Great instincts. We've known that since day one. He will continue to be the most important Chicago Cub. All right, I just mentioned Christian Yelich to the Milwaukee Brewers. We know far and away he's the best player on the Brew Crew. Kev, who is the second best position player on that team?
Who has to be second best is the kid in center field, Lorenzo Cain. Let me tell you why. Because you got Gold out there. I love the way he plays baseball, okay? Power at times comes and then it goes. But one thing he does every day is this. He defends center field and he hits good pitching when you need it. He's got that lean back, kind of like you think he's got upper deck power. He has it. Sometimes doesn't put it into play. Doesn't have to. Go out and hit 300, steal some bases, and show that gold in center field.
I actually agree with you. I think he has to be the second best player on that team, but I don't think he's going to be, because I think he has handed that mantle on over to Keston Hiura, who came up last season and did a great job in 84 games. Hit 19 bombs, 303 batting average, 938 OPS. Pretty darn good. He's got a good solid glove there at second base. I know you love the leg kick. You love the makeup. You know, he's from Valencia, California, which is kind of where you grew up when you were settling between homes. And I don't need to get into that story again, but I know you're a big fan of his as well, and I think his kid's super. Yeah. We, it's fine. How are you doing with all that, by the way? Mom and Dad good? They're all right?
Kramer versus Kramer. Yeah, they're all good. I grew up in a very divorced, split family, so yeah, Valencia and Encino.
But they loved you.
LA.
That meant you went to two households that loved you. That's what you meant. You got, as my friend once said, double good love.
That's right, double good love. Always had love.
All right, last one. These two teams are led by former Major League players who were around a long time as role players. So which manager had the more impressive playing career between Craig Counsell and David Ross?
I love both these guys. Let's just get that. I love both these guys. One, I've showered with Counsell. Two, Rossi's been to the house with a butterfly catching hat so he wouldn't get sunburned on the jet skis. But I'm going to go with David Ross. The reason why, Chris, he's the only guy to homer in his last game in Game 7 of the World Series. So here he is on Mark Grace. He dominates position players. That's what he does. But you know what? He's the man. D. Ross going to Chi-Town. Do your thing. And he was a kind of a role model on 2 World Series clubs with 2 historic franchises. You do the math there, Chris, about 200 years of World Series droughts.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Although you're the one that broke the World Series drought in Boston. They had already had a few before they won it in 2013 with Grandpa Rossi there. But it's a good call. Right. But I love what Counsell did, okay? So he won 2 rings as well. He won one with the Marlins, where he scored the game winner against my Indians in '97. He was also on base when Luis Gonzalez hit the game winner off of Mariano Rivera. And then in Milwaukee, his hometown, he went 0 for 45 at one stretch. That was the longest hitless drought in the major league since 1909. And to still be able to show up every day and smile and feel like you're still major league worthy, to me, that shows something, dude. Craig Counsell, you're all right in my book. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.